and we'll go from there. So this is an SLR camera. Is the camera you have this type?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, that'll be perfect. So yeah, for the technical assignments, use that, and then your choice for the rest of the assignments.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right. So I'm going to go over the syllabus, and that's pretty much it for this meeting.
All right.
Um, is this the right? This is not the right one. Sorry. Here we are. Oh shoot! Did I just do that? I did. Just a moment. Okay, here we are. So this is our page on Canvas, and this is the home page. So at the top are announcements. So here's the welcome, uh, which is just a welcome, and it tells you to look at the Canvas page, and that you should email me if you have questions, etc. But I'll post announcements there as things, issues come up. Generally, anything I post to the announcements page, any news, I'll also email you
Okay.
guys. All right. So here is our syllabus for this term. The pictures don't seem to have come through, so I'll post those, repost those. But anyway, my name is Sita Bhattacharjee. Please call me Sita. And the best way to get in touch with me is using this top email. You can also use the second one, which is my personal email, but I suppose I'm supposed to tell you to use the MPC
Oh,
email. And I check my email generally once a day, sometimes more. And hopefully, I will get back to you within a short period of time. But if you don't hear from me, um, feel free to email me again. You won't be bugging me.
all right.
Okay. So, and I have office hours on Thursdays from 2 to 3:30. But if those don't work for you, we can arrange another time to meet if need be. Okay. Um, so, welcome to ARTP-10 Intro to Photography. This is a non-lab class, and even in normal times, we wouldn't have a lab component to the class. And no previous knowledge of photography is assumed or required. So after covering the use of 35mm cameras, lenses and film, and other creative controls in photography, we will explore the basic principles of perception, light, color, composition, and visual awareness, and how these elements are used to make a successfully composed image. So how we use elements, the elements in front of us, um, mostly visual, but also conceptual, depending on what you have in mind for your photograph, to make an image that is successful, that works, that pulls the viewer in, that,
Mhm.
if need be, tells a little story. Okay. Through slides and videos, we will also look at the work of a number of photographers, and you are encouraged to employ or use your aesthetic, intellectual, and emotional concerns as a basis for your photographic expressions, or more simply put, your life around you, used to make images. You will need a digital camera, preferably a DSLR, a digital single lens reflex camera, or one that allows you some measure of control over the functions. And those functions are the aperture, the shutter, and ISO ratings. And those are all, we go over those in the first one or two modules on Canvas. So due to the ongoing COVID pandemic and the measures put in place to slow its spread, this class, which normally would be taught in person on campus, will be taught online. And as this is an online class, you must have regular access to a computer with high-speed internet access and, of course, be familiar with basic computer and internet functions. You must also be familiar with Canvas, which I assume you are.
Uh-huh.
But as all of the course material and information will be found on Canvas. You'll also need to be familiar with Zoom, as we'll be having periodic Zoom meetings. Obviously, you're familiar with it because you're here.
Here, yeah.
But my office hours also will be via Zoom. And you obviously also have found the invitation, but the invitation for the Zoom meetings is will be found in the modules under Zoom meetings. And also, I believe I emailed all of you guys the Zoom invitation. So there's a recommended text. You do not have to buy it. You're not required to buy it. It's entitled Complete Digital Photography by Ben Long. And you can purchase either the printed version or the ebook by going to the site that I've listed below, completedigitalphotography.com, /store. So again, you're not required to buy it. Some people like to have a text. I find it useful to have something to refer to, but you're not responsible for anything, any information that isn't covered in class on Canvas. So again, you are not required to purchase this book. And if for some inexplicable reason you decide that this is not the course for you, you don't like it, you don't like me,
Mhm.
that's not true, but if for any reason you need to drop the course, it's your responsibility to do that. If somebody stops coming to class, I generally check in, I send an email, see what's going on. And if eventually you or the person stops attending or signing in, I usually drop the person, but I don't guarantee that I will drop you. And when I speak, Leo, I speak to the entire class.
Uh-huh.
So it would be a shame to end up with a W on your transcript, and even worse, an F, because you didn't drop the class. So if you do need to drop it, you should go ahead and do that. Okay, grading will be based upon a final exam, the timely submission of assignments, participation, and overall effort. Late assignments are accepted, but points may be deducted depending on how late it is and what's going on. I don't want to have every single assignment turned in the last week of class. But again, I do accept late assignments for every assignment except the final assignment, which is due at the end of the term, and so you can't really redo it. Okay. The grade breakdown is as follows here. MPC actually does not give pluses and minuses, so what you could discard those, I guess. So I grade on a 1,000 point scale. A minimum passing grade is a D, or 60%. So 900 to 1,000 is an A, 800 to 899 is a B, 700 to 799 is a C, 600 to 699 is a D, and anything below 600 is an F. And this is how the breakdown is for the assignments and your grade overall. So the first 4 assignments are worth 100 points each for 400 points. The fifth and final assignment is worth 200 points. The written assignment, which I'll go over, and it's not a big deal, is worth 100 points. The exam is worth 200 points, and participation is worth 100 points for a total of 1,000 points. The final exam will be available on Canvas during the last week of the spring semester, during finals week. So that's May 23rd through 27th. And that means that you have to take the test at some point between midnight on Monday, so that's late Sunday night, the 23rd, and 11:59 p.m. on Friday the 27th. So sometime between those dates and times. And you may take the exam twice, and obviously the higher of the grades will be recorded. Okay. The written assignment is it's not that difficult. I give you a whole list of videos, and you are to choose, I believe, two, and watch them and write about them. So the videos are about different photographers, and so you need to, first make it obvious that you watched the video, but they're not very long. I think the longest is maybe 25 minutes. So they're not like feature length motion pictures. But the basics of the photographer, what type of photography he or she does or did, and so on. Okay. You may ask about participation and what that entails in an online class. And mostly it will entail doing something called peer reviews. So for each assignment that you turn in, you'll also be assigned randomly two other students whose work you are to look at for that assignment and write about.
Uh-huh.
So you'll look at their work and just give a little assessment. So about the images you've seen, comments or observations. Did you like them? Did you not? Why? Just, don't just say, oh, they're really beautiful, period. What works for you, what does not, and why? Elaborate that on that briefly, so a short paragraph
Uh-huh.
should be enough. Also, if you have any questions about the images, then that's a place where you can ask the student, the artist, those questions and so on. Okay, so
Mhm.
that deals with participation. Here's a breakdown of what the grades are, what they mean. An A indicates excellent work, B, very good work, C, average work, D, below average, or failing. And I'm sure that you all are familiar with what that means, what those mean. One thing that I want you to know is that the work that you submit for this class needs to have been made for this class. And specifically, it needs to be made over the course of this academic term. So you probably have images that you made that fit assignments perfectly that you made like 2 years ago. But I want you to do new work for this class, and I want to see new work. Can I tell if it's old work? Actually, yes, I can, because the information about the image is embedded into the image file. So when you turn in images for this class, you will turn in the files that you shot, that show, that are on your memory card, the memory card of your camera, and you'll pull those over to your computer or hard drive and look at them and select the ones that you feel are best for the assignment. And then you'll put them in a folder entitled with your name and upload them to Canvas. And so each image is a file. And within that file is information about the image. So the camera you used, the lens you used, the settings that were used, the where it was taken if you had the GPS turned on, and of course the date. And so I can tell when it was taken. Um, you can, yes, you can change metadata. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck, but you can certainly change it. But I mean, in my opinion, it's more of a pain in the neck to change the metadata than it is to go out and make some new images. So anyway, I want to see images that you've made for this class, or at least over the course of this term. If you didn't actually make it for this specific assignment, but you feel it works really well for the assignment, that's great.
Okay.
Disruptive behavior, I have to put here, I assume, obviously, especially for an online class, I don't think this is an issue, but, if you disrupt the class, if you are behaving inappropriately, that's not good.
Right.
Um, Academic integrity essentially means don't cheat. Please don't cheat. Do your own work, you know. There is a code of honor and of ethics that you can find in the college handbook, I guess. But, in essence, do your own work, such as it is. Do your best, and go from there.
Right.
Outcomes are what you should be able to do upon completion of this class. Um, so, upon successful completion of this area, that is the humanities, you should be able to demonstrate an ability to analyze and interpret human thought, achievement, and expression relevant to such branches of knowledge as philosophy, literature, and/or the fine and performing arts, and to communicate the results. So, you should have gained knowledge and be able to explain it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Within this class, um, you should be able to uh, produce photographic images demonstrating technical principles of exposure with concepts of composition, design, aesthetics, and content. Evaluate photographic compositions and analyze photographs for literal and symbolic meaning, utilizing basic principles of design and visual communication. Develop productive studio habits, which is not relevant to this particular class. A strong work ethic and safety protocol. Gain the ability to use visual media to bring personal ideas to fruition and effectively communicate that vision to others. Also, produce photographic images that apply basic concepts. This is like the same stuff. So, anyway, you should be able to, you should have learned the basics of photography, how cameras function, how we use those functions to create different effects. You should be able to produce images that convey your meaning, what you intend to show, in the best possible way that you can, and also to be able to look at images, yours and those of other people, and analyze them to see what's going on and to tell if it's a good photograph, or bad, I suppose. And in that, I mean more about composition. Does it convey what it should? Does it do it in an effective way? Okay. So, Access Resource Center offers academic counseling, specialized instruction, classroom accommodations to students with a verified disability. Um, and they're a useful tool. They're a great resource, and you don't have to have a disability to go there and access, them and their support. Okay. Um, okay, and so I put a link in to them. Important dates: January 21st, obviously, classes begin. Late registration went through February 5th, so that is passed. So the dates for adding and dropping without any record of you having been here, those are passed.
Mhm.
On the 18th is Lincoln, well, 18th and 21st. So the weekend of the 18th is President's Day. They list it separately as Lincoln's and Washington's birthdays, which is, what they're doing. But anyway, it's a 4-day weekend.
Okay.
So no classes on those days, and the campus is closed. And they said to be determined the last date to submit a spring graduation petition, and I'll check when that comes up, and post it. March 21st through 26th is spring recess. March 31st is a holiday to commemorate Cesar Chavez's birthday. April 15th is the deadline for submitting a fall graduation petition. April 27th, and this is a more important day, is the last day to drop semester length courses and receive a W. So after that date, you just can't drop the class. It will remain on your uh, sorry. It will remain, shall we say,
Right.
and you'll get an F if you haven't done the work for the class. Um, so again, if you want to drop the class and not receive a grade, or especially not receive an F, April 27th is the last date to do that. And again, finals week is May 23rd through 27th. And that Friday, May 27th, is the last day of the semester. And I welcome your questions and comments. I really do. Please feel free to contact me with these or anything else, any other concerns or issues via email or during my office hours, or if those office hours don't work for you, we can arrange another time to meet. And that's it for this. Again, the pictures seem to be missing, so I'll have to look into that again. Photographic resources. I just put some online places to order equipment if you need to. There is most photo stores have closed down, but there is one in the general area, Green's Photography, and I think they're still open. And I actually thought it was still on this syllabus, but I'll check that again and put it up if it's still there. But B&H it's very good. It's in New York City. If you ever are in New York, it's kind of cool to go to. It takes up an entire city block in New York. Freestyle Photographic Supplies is located in Los Angeles, and they're great too. I believe that if you order out of state, I think you still do not have to pay taxes, which is nice. But other than that, they're both great. Any questions? Anything?
No, it's pretty self-explanatory.
All right, great. Up here at the top of the Canvas page is a list of things you can access, and so announcements appear at the top anyway. The modules, which is all of the stuff, all of the information, is accessed here. So there's a welcome module listing resources in more detail, class information about the peer reviews, breakdown of topics that will be covered on the exam at the end of the term, and recommend and information about the text and readings if you decide to get the text. Again, our Zoom invitation, and then the breakdown of different topics. So in order of how they should be looked at. So the basics, cameras, and so on. And so there are lectures. Um, there are readings. So I, put in some readings for each topic. So you don't have to get the text because there is text, so to speak,
Right.
in these readings. There are lectures, so my lectures, kind of low tech, but there they are. Um, and then also when they're available, class notes. So these are the notes that I would have written out while we're in class and talked about them, and so they're available here. Again, a little bit low tech, but there you have it. And then at the very end, the textbook book readings. Okay.
Okay.
And so that's for each topic, the lens, how you control light entering the camera, and then more technical stuff, equivalent exposures, depth of field, color and color temperature and white balance, motion, portraiture, looking at photographs, and so on. Okay. So if you have any questions about them, please let me know. If you actually find something that's not working, please let me know about that. Um, Assignments are here. So different assignments, they're not all available immediately. And that has to be changed. That's not right. But there, as the term goes on, more of them open up. But the first one is supposed to be open now, so I don't know why it isn't, but I will correct that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like, oh, you don't have anything open right now because I haven't seen, well, yeah, any assignments of yours, and I was like, oh, is she gonna assign or how is she assigning them?
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. That should be open, and then as we progress, more of them will open. So yeah, it's locked at the moment. So, but I will open them. I'll open them up so that you have access to them. All right. And read this before you submit your assignment. So this tells you how to organize the images for submission before you start uploading them. Okay. And I think that's it. Quizzes, that's the final exam, which is not available till the
Mm-hmm.
end of the term
Wait.
and so on. Okay. And hello, Brittany. Welcome.
Hi, I'm super late. Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries. This will all be posted. The recording will be posted on Canvas. So if you missed it, no worries. And yeah, all we did really was go over the syllabus and Canvas. Some basic things about Canvas. And that's it. Do you
Okay.
have any questions?
Um, no, I think I'm just gonna watch over the recording and see if my questions are answered there.
Okay, great. And I have office hours on Thursdays, so in 2 days,
Okay.
from 2 to 3:30. If those office hours don't work for you, email me, contact me, and we can arrange another time to meet.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care. Let me stop the share. We'll go back to this. And I'm going to stop the